Welcome to Pick Money, the podcast, episode 46. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for watching, subscribing, sharing. I appreciate it. The secret to avoid objections in sales, where people tend to fail, quit, go broke, not succeed in sales, is not understanding how to deal with objections. Now, there are two very distinct ways to look at handling objections. So, for instance, you got to ask yourself, what are the number? So, if I were to get on any group, and I do this with salespeople all the time, number one objection that you're going to hear, because it's the easiest way to get a non-sale for the client, because they're kind of trained in how do I not buy something, is I want to think about it. That's just so generic, but it's easy. Like, you know, sounds good, bro, but I need to think about it, want to think about it. That's the same as I don't do anything the first time. I need to gather my information. I do my research. All the same bullshit is I want to think about it. Next one is can't afford it. So I'm not going to tell you, like, I'm only in lead-based sales. So lead-based sales creates a need. A need activates a desire. And a desire produces action. If you're door knocking or cold calling, you need to quit and go do something else. Get a job, go work with his leads. It's 2025, soon to be 26. Knock it off. It's weird. The dude in charge is making money, and you're doing this all day long trying to get somebody to say yes to something. It will drive you crazy. You're like, well, you can't do it. I've done it, dude. I've door knocked forever, and I made plenty of sales. And I was like the top guy in my office door knocking. But I know what I was making compared to what I was making in leads. It wasn't even close. Calling people to ask me for help, knocking on doors where nobody asked me to be there, and I was trespassing. Very different deal. So, but remember that. Need activates desire, and desire produces action. Product, need-based product. Lead, I got a lead. You said you need it. Cool. That need will activate your desire to purchase it. The desire you got will produce the action of you actually purchasing it, giving your bank account information and buying it. Can't afford it. So, and it's funny, I'll say to people, give me all the objections, give me like 20, and I've only heard like 3 or 4 in my life, which I'll get to that in a minute. I mean, they're all about the same, but they don't give me that weird stuff that people say they say to them. I need to check with somebody, whoever it is. It could be, they could make the person up. It could be their uncle, their aunt, their best friend, some dude they met one time at the bus stop, somebody that works with them. But I need to check with somebody. Somebody got to give me the information. So I don't want to say no to you today, but I'm going to use my third-party validation, which is probably not even a real person, or I'm really not going to call that person or pretend like, but I can't say no to you. So I need to think about it. I can't afford it. And I need to check with so-and-so. And the last one I hear is, I totally need it. Like, I get it. I'm in. I want to buy it. I'm just going to need a month or 2 or 3. So it's not like I'm straight out, I can't afford it. I'm in. But I just got to give me some time. I just got into my new house. I'm getting my bills settled. I'm going to buy it. No doubt about it. I'm just not going to buy it today. So I've made a decision to buy, but I'm not buying today. Check with me in 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 3 months, whatever they come up with. Those are the 4 I hear the most. Now, when people are like, well, they say this about me or question this about me or do this, I'm like, dude, I don't ever get that. I'll show you how I don't get it. I don't have to worry about all the other BS, okay? And I could say I'm not interested. When people are like, what about I'm not interested? I'm like, dude, I'm in lead-based sales. I'm like, what do you mean? You mean you woke up, you went online, you filled out something that you got in the mail, you filled it out, put all your personal information on it, sent it back, and you don't need it. Like, I don't even know, I'm not interested. What does that even mean? That's obnoxiously weird. But I'll throw that in there's number 5. I'm going to tell you what to say to people when they say these things to you. Much more important is what I'm going to teach you to avoid them saying anything to you other than, when does my first payment come out? And let me get you my banking information. Okay? So I'm going to help you with that. But let's do this. I need to think about it. Anytime somebody says something's in opposition to what you're doing, they're either genuinely challenging you, like if I was like, hey man, why is the product got this benefit and not that? Or when you tell me this, why is it this much a month for this and not? Maybe they're like trying to clarify information. Or they're just being argumentative to be argumentative. They're hoping that you get emotional. When you get emotional, then they can withdraw and be like, yeah, you're just getting like, I don't want. So you have to start thinking about, what are they trying to accomplish? Well, they're testing you. Objections are tests. That's all it is. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about buying. I know I need to buy. I know I fill it out. It's never a great time for a new bill. But you know what? I'm going to test this guy right now. And I don't even know. They may not even know why they're doing it. But I'm gonna be oppositional to this dude right now and see what he says to me. I'm gonna push back a little bit and see what his response is. So it's really your response will dictate how they proceed, because they got the need, they fill it out. You got to help them get that desire, and then that desire produces that action. Then, do they want to get that need met for the product with you or somebody else that does what you do? And that's about you. Instead of me arguing with you, I go, sounds good. So first thing I do is you drop your guard, because when you're so excited, go, I just need to think about it, Shawn. I go, sounds good. And they're like, cool. Oh, that worked. Awesome. Sounds good. When you say you need to think about it, what do you actually mean and what do you need to think about? Now, I would ask it exactly that way. Not too fast, not too painfully slow. Sounds good. When you say that, what do you mean? And what do you actually need to think about it? And the reason it's like a pattern interrupt. The reason I give you kind of sub-questions in there and I do it the way I do it, I want them thinking. But I'm not challenging. I'm not saying that what they said was stupid. I'm not arguing with them. I'm also not getting emotional. People in sales that get emotional don't have enough leads and don't work hard enough. I would like everybody to buy when I'm selling products. They fill out a lead, they want it, but everybody's not going to buy. So I'm not going to ride that emotional roller coaster. Well, I just need to think about it. I go, with all due respect, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. It takes a lot of strength to ask questions, even more strength to be quiet and let them answer. So I ask the question, I just sit there and let you answer. Like, I really don't know what you mean. That's why I'm asking. I'm genuinely trying to get the information. What do you mean when you say you want to think about it? Again, what are you actually thinking about? Well, the product. I mean, okay, well, what part of it, what did I not explain? Now it's on me. I'm not mad at you, at me. What part of it did I not explain? When you're saying you want to think about it, what part of it did I not explain properly? And I just keep asking questions. And I'm not getting emotional and screaming and yelling. I'm just not raising my voice. They're not getting under my skin. The color of my face isn't changing. I really don't know. Can you explain it to me? Well, you just gave us this information. We feel this thing has a lot for us to take in. We need some time. Okay, got it. Is there any part of you that doesn't believe you need the product? No, we believe we need it. Okay, like you do. Yes, we do believe we need it. Okay, got it. And then the price I showed you of what it costs you every month based on your budget, not that you're jumping up and down about a new bill, but is there any part of you that thinks you can't make that payment? No, we can. Okay, so you need the product. You're saying I explained it properly and you can afford that payment every month. Yeah. Then why, with all due respect, what are we waiting for? Let's just get started. And by the way, I can understand there's apprehension because I come out and you filled something out. You know you need it. You got the desire to have it. Now it's taking that action because it's a new bill. Well, there's, I could leave here tonight and, my radiator could blow in my car. When I go to the shop and pay for it to get it fixed, I ain't fired up about the new bill, but it's a necessity. It's a need. Same thing here. And you just continue to move through what they're saying. Very unemotionally. I can't afford it. You can't afford it, meaning you don't have the money in your budget every month to be able to pay that amount. No, I do, because that's what's messed up. You walk them through this process, they see it, and they acknowledge it unless you didn't ask good enough questions moving through it. No, I go, so if you don't mind me asking, it's that you won't pay for it. It's not that you can't. Like, you can. You have the desire for the product you need. You don't want to pay for it, but you can pay for it. I just want to make sure we're on the, no, I could pay for it if I wanted to, Shawn. All right. Do you believe there are things that you pay every day, every week, every month that are less important than this would be for you, and that's why you filled out this form and sent it back to us? Yeah, I wouldn't argue that. All right, so my job is to make sure you understand the need of what this is, and I protect you and your family. So it's not that you can't, it's that you're saying right now you don't want to. So I don't go back to won't. I'm closing. You don't want to. And I can understand you don't want to. And if it was free, I don't know how long it would last, but I'd give it to you for free. But it can't be, because anything worth having, you got to pay for. You understand? So you just keep it moving when you're asking questions. I need to check on my uncle. You know, my uncle was in real estate 10 years ago, Shawn. I know that we're real close here in this offer. I just really got to check my uncle. Great. What does your uncle do, if you don't mind me asking? Well, my uncle works at a school. He's a teacher. Okay, well, I mean, we can call your uncle if you need to, like, ask him a question or two, but the only person that's licensed to do what we're doing is me. That doesn't mean I know everything, but I'll be honest with you, I promise you I have a much better chance of having the answer than your uncle does who's teaching. And again, I'm not trying to be difficult. I just feel like you're like, what you're, you're going to die and I'm selling you a life insurance policy. Like, I want to call my aunt. Is your aunt going to tell you you're not going to die? No, of course not. Okay, then unless you got a direct line to God, where God's going to give you your date of death, there's really nobody to call. And it's not that I'm being rude. It's that you know you need it. You know you got a desire to get it. We went over everything. I mean, I think we're just trying to procrastinate because it comes down again to the fact that you're not fired up about paying a new bill. I don't need you to jump up and down about paying it, but you need to pay it. Like, you need to pay it. I need it. I want it. Now they're selling me on how good a job I did, how they need it so bad because they don't want to reject me, and we're totally going to buy it. We just can't buy it today. Tom, listen, man, I sitting with you and your wife for a little bit now, I get it. There's a lot going on. There's bills to pay. There's decisions to make in life, and you're in a place where it's easier to just, like, punt. Like, I'm just not going to make a decision tonight. Because you said you need it. You said you want it. Is there anything about me you don't like? No, we like you. Cool. I showed you the price. Yeah, we could swing that. We just need some time to get our feet underneath us. Here's the problem, Tom. Because it's a need, whatever it could be. It could have been the roof in your house was leaking. I sold roofing. Like, okay, I hear you that it might be a better time until we get a really nasty storm and your entire living room floods. And then your damn insurance drops you because you already knew you had a bad. Like, I'm just like, what are we doing here? Life insurance. Hell, you have no idea when you're going to die. You know, there's sense of urgency you got to put into people so they make a buying decision today. And they've actually already made a buying decision. They got to make a closing decision. The last one, which I'll be honest, I never got. I'm just, for people like when they say I'm not interested, that one I have a lot more fun with. And I go, listen, I've been doing this for however long I've been doing it. I've never met anybody of sound mind and sound body that fills out a form, sends it back to somebody they don't know with their personal information on it that wasn't interested in getting the information. So tell me it's the color of my shirt, you know what I mean? Tell me it's, you don't like the way I'm, asking, or like, tell them it's about me, but don't tell me you're not interested. So I think you'd have fun with it, stand up for yourself. The objections dissipate when you have courage to stand up for yourself. People mess with people they think they can mess with. It's not about any kind of physical toughness. It's you're going to stand up for you. You're going to answer questions with a question. You're going to let silence be your best friend. Now, what's the true secret? If you do your presentation right, the amount of objections will be minimal. They won't really even exist. And what I mean by that is I can kill them through my presentation. So if we take, I need to think about it. When I'm walking through a part of it, okay, so that would be the benefits. That's exactly how it works. Is there anything you all don't understand about what I just explained? Like, now that we're on this part, please ask me. No. So here's how many square your roof is. Here's what it's going to cost. Here's when we're going to do it. Is there anything about what I'm explaining to you that you don't? And guys, there's no dumb questions. Is there anything? Because I can come to your job. What do you do for a living? I work at Pfizer, pharmaceutical company. Okay, I don't know anything about any of that. So, like, if I had questions about what you do, since that's not my background, would that be a stupid question? No, Shawn, of course not. Okay, same thing here. So there's no bad question. Go ahead and fire away. No, man, we're good. That actually makes sense to us. Okay, cool. So, and then I start. So I'm so detailed in getting them to agree to the sale again and again and again, and I'm doing it from a strength-based approach. Notice I'm the one in charge. You will be riddled with objections when you don't take charge. Somebody has to take charge. It's like a kid with no parents. Watch that kid raise hell. Bad kid. Well, there was no parents around, dude. I mean, let's slow down a little bit. I mean, like, you didn't really have anybody around him. But as long as you move through it with strength, you're not going to get that objection. You're just not, because you're revalidating 2, 3, 4, 5 times throughout. You understand it. You know how the process works. You understand, you know how the process works. I can't afford it. When I'm going through my sales presentation with strength, where people know who's in charge, where I'm the one asking the questions, where I have the right demeanor and attitude, where I'm speaking with my hands, pushing, pulling, pattern interrupt, all the word tracks I got, which you should take from what I said earlier and do the exact same thing because it works. As I'm walking through that, I'm already saying, listen, I understand when I tell you that the roof's going to cost you $35,000, you're not fired up about it. I understand when I tell you your life insurance policy is going to cost you $191. You're fired up because you got to fill a need, but I've not met anybody that was like, oh my God, thank God, this is awesome, I got a new bill. It was something they needed, desire. Like, so I'm doing that through the process. Hey, Tom, when I show this to you, when you're all looking at your financial situation, how does this make you feel when you see, man, well, I don't know, dude, I'm gonna see if I can get a loan for the roof. I can't swing that. Okay, cool, thank you. We offer financing. Here's the way it works. Like, I'm selling you life insurance. Man, when I look at $220 a month, Shawn, I just don't know if I can afford it. Okay, is that you can't or won't, because we can adjust the price? No, probably a little bit of both, Shawn. I don't even know if I can afford it. And I tell my clients when I start, I need you to be honest with me, and I'm going to be honest with you. Can I have permission with y'all, no matter what happens throughout the entire appointment, to be honest with you? Yeah, and I'm going to ask the same of you guys. So if I say, can you swing that? When people ask me, can you afford that? When I couldn't afford it, I was like, no, it's not that I won't. I can't. Like, that's a number I just can't pay. So I make them feel at ease. I explain to them to understand. I live in that imperfection. Like, I do all that, right? When we're going through it, I need to talk to somebody. I'm like, how'd you find out about the product? Do you know anybody that has any, like, have you talked to anybody else about it? I'm getting background information. So I get to the end and like, man, I got to call my Uncle Tom, my Uncle Tim. I'm like, we just talked about this for 45 minutes. You never brought up Tim once. And then I get to go right back to it. But I'll tell you what, when I do it the right way, I want to think about it. I won't get, I can't afford it. I won't get, I need to talk to somebody. I will not get, I need it, but I'm going to buy it in a few months because I'm doing the need base. You got to buy it today. And here's why. Fear of loss. Your living room could leak. You could die with no life insurance. Your family could lose the house. I mean, whatever you're selling, pretty simple fear of loss of a need-based products. And I'll never get, I'm not interested because I'm rolling. So that would be to talk to somebody for 30 minutes over the phone or in person and get somebody to say that would be ludicrous. But you have to understand that I will get leads that somebody else called and they'll get all these objections. And then I'll talk to the exact same person and they'll say stuff like, somebody already called me. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it looks like they didn't do their job. I apologize for that. No, I told him or her I'm not interested. Yeah, I know, but they obviously aren't very good at their job because you fill out a form, and there's no way that you would have ever filled out a form, not be interested. When we called, you weren't interested because the person on the phone didn't give you comfort that they could help you. So that's why they have me call. So here's what we're going to do. I ain't listening to your bullshit. And people are like, man, you booked 14 appointments. Or you made, yeah, dude, like the exact same leads you just said, because I'm just, the presentation is different. And also, there's a lot of power when you decide, you fill this form out, you want the product, you need it, and you're getting it. I'm just saying, it sounds great. Like, well, you're getting it. You need it, and you're getting it. So a lot of strength in that. Why? Because I'm gonna get you a product you need and that you asked for. So the power of your presumptiveness, the power, and also be nice. There's nothing I've said over the last 20, 25 minutes that's rude or obnoxious. And if you think it is, bro, you better read the definition of rude and obnoxious. Being honest with somebody, ask them clarifying questions, being in charge when they ask you to be in charge. How in the world can that be? Like, explain to me how in any world that's rude. I couldn't begin to fathom how that's rude. So I really think that you have to understand that when your value to a person and the way they see you carry yourself supersedes their desire to try to be difficult with you because they know they're not going to win. It's seeing a person that's confident, that speaks confidently, that stands his or her ground, that believes in the client and the product. You do all that, it's hard for anybody to try to pull that apart. That's the secret to avoiding objections. And what I said earlier is the secret of dealing with them if you get them and you didn't do your job to begin with. And then start analyzing your sales approach, because if you keep getting them and it don't change, then you're doing something wrong. Because I can call the same 100 people and I'm going to get 90% less objections. So, all right, let me get that. Hope that makes sense. Take it, try it. It works. I've done it in about every sales industry you can find. I've been very successful doing so. All right, comments. First of all, thank you for your comments. Just serve FFL. Shawn, this is one of the best pick monies I've heard. Sharing with my agents. Not on track to do what I wanted to do. $500,000 a month as a team. I can sell the shit out of the leads. I buy a missing something recruiting despite following. I believe everything I hear to do. How do I continue to be patient with the slow speed of growth and grow faster? I am not patient. I need to get more agents who want to sell like I do. How can I do that with people? How do I find the patience? First of all, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You also, the answer always is new people. And I mean that, like new people, new agents, new people to talk to, gives you a lot more shots. Also intentional about who you're bringing in, trying to find people that are as good, if not better than you. That was my big deal. Like, who's really good? Who's making a lot of money now? Who's already been in sales for a year? Like, who's doing really well that I can bring in? I don't care if they're above my pay grade. I'm fired up about it. I got to bring them in. Utilizing your social media to market who you are and what you're doing. If you can sell the shit out of some leads, start talking about it. Are you in lead-based sales? Would you like to get better? Are you in lead-based sales? Is your closing percentage? Whatever your hook is going to be, the content in the video, then your call to action at the end. Contact me, come work with me, whatever the deal is. You're going to have to be patient. You can't make anybody do anything, and you have to understand that. They succeed because they went out and kicked ass and succeeded. They don't, it's because they didn't go out and do that, and that's okay, dude. Either one of them, like, you just got to work the hardest you can to find new people, and don't overstay your welcome. Don't micromanage anybody. Those that can't micromanage. The last thing I tell people when they start is they're independent. The magic about the title of independent contractor is you're independent, dude. I'm not your boss. You don't even have a boss here. You are your boss. You want to complain about your work ethic? Go to your boss. You want to complain about something? Go to your boss. You are your boss. Tyler, 4271. Wow, this is top tier. But you have to have ears that can hear it. You're right, Tyler. You got to listen. You got to listen with like an accountable mind. You're either going to listen and go like, here's why I'm going to take this and put this into what I do, or here's why it's not right. Rich Towsley, smart man. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate that. Sad Smile Clothing. Love your advice. I appreciate that too. Thank you so much. But understand that, like, it doesn't matter if I give you the advice. It doesn't matter if I give you real life. You have to make changes. If you're too uncomfortable to change, you're going to be too uncomfortable to challenge a client. You're going to be too uncomfortable to ask the right questions. They're going to be uncomfortable because you're uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable and the client's uncomfortable, somebody has to be in charge. So he's going to be in charge because you're not in charge. And he's going to try to take over because he's nervous that you're not in charge. I'm going to buy something from you, somebody I've never met. You think I don't want somebody confident who's in damn charge? I ain't going to do it any other way. If you utilize those strategies, you'll have unbelievable success in overcoming objections. But once you get really good, avoiding them in general, well, they'll throw one here and there to you. You won't even worry about it. But for the vast majority of people, they won't come up with those things that don't make any sense. They're saying just to buy time because they don't, as long as you're strong and they believe in the way you carry yourself and who you are, you'll be blown away at how many people are just saying yes as opposed to trying to be difficult and saying no. So Appreciate you. Hey, more comments, questions, love them. I thank you for them. I appreciate we had time to get to these today. Send me as many as you want for the next one. We're going to keep doing this. The content helps. It's real life content to help real life people do real life shit. So we'll talk to you all next week and pick money. Thank you so much.